A Labour politician has made an allegation against Tommy Robinson and the Raise the Colours gang that I won't repeat at the beginning of the video because it get the video demonetized. But what I will say is that this guy has said that the people who are raising the flag for Britain are a bunch of criminals, extremists and ends. What a disgusting slur. I'm going to go through it in this video and explain the whole thing. Hello everyone, this is Andre Walker. Please do subscribe, but also I've got some bad news for you. There's a video on this channel about Dr. Kush Naker, who was the T who attacked the Trump dinner that I attended. He now is attempting to launch a criminal act against me. I know I said it wasn't going to happen, but it now is going to happen. Can you donate to the Patriot Fund below to try and help me deal with it? Okay, thank you so much if you can help. Okay, so Jeremy Newmark, who is the Labour leader of Hertsmere Borough Council, said that Operation Raise the Colours was run by a bunch of N's. N-O-N-C-E-S. Right, okay. Well, I think that this is just the latest in a whole series of slurs. I'm so sick of hearing this far-right thing. And indeed, what were the people who said that they were a bunch of cokeheads and angry people and all this sort of thing? Here is the thing that really upsets me. There's another video on this channel today in which I talk about the fact that there is discrimination against white working class boys in the field of education. I've made videos before about Pakistani ethnic cleansing of white communities in Britain. I've talked about the fact that the UN will not give rights for indigenous people that they extend to people who are, say, Native American, to people who are native British. Now, you can say I'm far right, you can say that I'm extremist, you can have a go at me for all of these things, but the reality is I'm just making a series of statements of fact. There is no doubt. There's a video on trigonometry where a doctor of war studies from King's College London says that the number one issue in this country that is causing societal breakdown is multiculturalism. It's not multiculturalism, it's a settler and colonialist culture where what happens is people are coming to the country and being told that they don't have to integrate, that they don't have to learn the language, that they don't have to adopt the religion. You can talk about uncontrolled immigration and get angry. My grandmother, it was called Patriotism, I think, and she was a Greek born in Athens. But when she married a British serviceman after the Second World War, she changed her name to Maria because she believed it sounded more English. I'm not sure she got that right, but okay. She brought my dad up as Church of England and his little sister up as Church of England. And then she didn't teach them to speak a word of Greek and went on like that. My dad's called Stan, his sister's called Angela. Who ever heard of a Greek called Stan Walker? My point being that she believed in integration into British society, and she believed if you come to Britain, you have to love Britain. Now, it is quite an old-fashioned view to believe that you should dump all of your cultural heritage from where you came from before, but actually, I will tell you, I think it's a lot better view than what we have today. Not only will it make society more cohesive and make the world a better place, but actually also it will ensure that you get better jobs and have better access to employment and indeed education and training, though I have to say discrimination in education, training and employment is increasingly favouring people who don't integrate into Britain. But let me talk about this raise the flag thing. So is our flag a fascist icon? No, it's not. And those people that have told us it's a fascist icon are really out of line. I've had enough of being told that patriotism is unacceptable in Britain, because the people that are telling me this are the people that have run over this country and completely destroyed it. The people who don't care about the fact that Britain is reeling from uncontrolled immigration. The people that don't care about the fact that there is an increasing level of discrimination against white people. I feel sorry for young white people. I keep saying the problem is racial original sin, which is to say that if you were born white, you have to, by definition of the colour of your skin, apologise and be treated as a second-class citizen. That is unacceptable. Martin Luther King said that he believed that we should live in a world where you're judged by the quality of your character, not the colour of your skin. If you say that now, you are branded far right. Everything now is about the colour of your skin. Everything is about your identity. Everything is about race. We've moved from a society where everything is about class to everything being about race. I lament that. I really do. I think it's very sad. And actually, if you want to talk about people being extremist, fascist, far right and all this, the stuff that I say on this channel, I wouldn't have said 30 years ago, but then again, it wouldn't have been true 30 years ago, right? When you're talking about discrimination against white people in 1997, you know, it just wasn't an issue. When you're talking about, I mean, in 1997, I call it that. I know 1997 isn't 30 years ago, but it's when Tony Blair was elected, so it's when this kind of started. You know, in 1997, you didn't knock on the door of a university and them go, right, what is your ethnic group? You know, we're going to be, applications are particularly welcome from black and minority ethnic people. That didn't happen. You didn't have this situation where you would say, well, okay, in Scotland, 50% of the boards of companies need to be women, but the definition of woman is anyone who says they're a woman, right? You didn't have things like that. And so, in a sense, when people are saying that we're far right and extremists, it's deeply frustrating because, of course, what they're doing is creating a problem. And then when we rail against the problem, they get very upset. And similarly, it's exactly the same as my views when we talk about uncontrolled immigration from the Islamic world. You know, fundamentally, I find it incredibly difficult. I know you do as well. To be in this situation whereby we're saying, well, look, you know, my local Indian restaurant owner is not damaging the country by being there, right? I'm not against having Muslim friends. I don't dislike people coming from Pakistan. What you're trying to say is I dislike the fact that everyone is coming from these countries. That's the real problem. And so this fly the flag thing is not about saying that you hate somebody. It's about saying, look, we want a cohesive society, an end to multiculturalism. You have to start saying to people, learn the language, adopt the religious practices, at least in part. As in, by the way, when I say adopt the religious practices, at least in part, schools should have Christian assemblies. Now, just as Jews for many years have not attended them, Muslim pupils are welcome to not attend them, or Hindus or Sikhs or whatever, although many of them do. But, so you have that. Also, you know, learn the language, adopt the dress of the country. I'm not going to say ban the burqa because I think banning any clothing is utterly ludicrous. By the way, I wouldn't even make it illegal to walk around naked in public. The reason I say that is not because I'm keen on people walking around naked in public, but I think it's very hard to come up with a law that's coherent, given that we're all born naked. But anyway, I wouldn't ban the burqa. However, what I would do is I would say to people that in things like school uniform, they should have only Christian symbols. Things like hijabs and burqas and all that sort of thing should definitely be banned in schools. And I think also, you know, teachers who wear the burqa shouldn't be allowed. But in general, what I want to do more than that is just encourage people to wear clothing that is British. By the way, on the subject of the burqa, I always make the point, burqa is designed for countries where sandstorms are prevalent. There's nothing in the Quran or the Hadith that say you have to wear a burqa. It's just a national dress for women in Saudi Arabia. And by the way, quite a good item to wear if you're in Saudi Arabia, but it is to Islam what a raincoat is to Christianity, i.e. not in the Bible, not in scripture anywhere at all, and not entirely needed. Okay, so I want to say that Jeremy Newmark is an absolute disgrace for what he said. We are not a bunch of criminals, extremists and nonces. What we are is a group of people who want our country to be run sensibly. And also, we're not against every Muslim, not against every black person, not against, it's just about fairness, and also it's about numbers. We don't want 10 million more people coming into the country. I'm now in trouble because I'm going to have a legal battle with Fossil Free London, who are the people that launched the terrorist attack on the Trump dinner that I organised in Windsor. Please do donate to the Patriot Fund. I might need some legal fees. I know I said I wouldn't yesterday, but times change. Till next time, goodbye.